Yeah, boy. This another late night edition. Yes, welcome to our Galaxy and Beyond with wait a minute, Anthony. Wait a minute, let me do it like that. I realized that when I point this way, it has me pointing the other way when I watch it. So I'm gonna see when I watch the playback. But this is Anthony and I'm Juju. Hello to people, Anthony. Let them know how you feeling tonight. You on mute?
I'm muted. My bad, y'all. Yeah, but peace to everybody. Appreciate y'all joining in as usual. Let's get ready for another good one. You know, we're gonna try not to hold y'all up too late tonight.
We always say that. Sound like we jowl. We ain't gonna be long. It's gonna be an hour and it be 4 hours.
Well, you know, when them questions start coming in, Miss Juju,
I know, and we don't mind the questions.
You know, and we got a pretty active chat.
Yeah, we do.
I would say the best chat on YouTube. That's just my humble opinion.
Yeah.
You know, but the interaction is great. I love it.
It is. And don't think we don't mind the questions. If we say we're gonna be an hour, we 3 hours, we 4 hours, we're fine. Because you know, y'all kept us here. You know, those questions are good. Those questions are actually they help us learn too. Because you know, the questions that we don't know, we go look up and then we be learning some new stuff. So it works out both ways. It works out both ways. But
most definitely.
You want to give a little what we gonna do? We're gonna do a little chat. You gonna do a little chat shout out. You gonna do the roll call? You gonna do the shout out roll call?
Yeah, let's get that roll call in. Yeah, right, let's see who we got in there. Of course, Miss Valisa Bennett. Appreciate you joining in. As always, my good sister Ramon Barry. Appreciate you. Thurman Meredith. Peace to you. Appreciate you joining in. My good brother Ronald Berkins. Peace to you. Peace.
Ronald. Ramon.
King Sosa, PseudoKillas official. My good brother. Appreciate you joining in, bro.
What up, King Sosa?
Hey. Words alive. Thank you for showing up. Appreciate it.
Yes, I just got to say, like she's new to the platform, at least of what I've seen, and she's been like faithfully supporting our content. So I just want to say we really appreciate that, sis. Thank you so much.
Most definitely. We thank you. We really do. Rock City, New York. Appreciate you joining in.
Did you get Tika?
My name is Tika. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for joining in with us. Sister Safa. Appreciate you, sweetheart. Appreciate you for joining in.
Sister Safa, we love you. She
most
really
definitely
is in the roadway, and we're going to talk about that roadway in a soon. I guess they got sick of me doing the hearts because I tried this twice and I can't get it no more, y'all. Keep going.
And Gary B. Appreciate you, Gary B. Appreciate you joining in as always.
Peace I'm not crazy, y'all. I'm trying to do something. It look crazier than a mofo, though. I know. Never mind. Go ahead.
But yeah, peace to everybody. Appreciate y'all joining in. You know, like we say, we really enjoy the interaction we get from you guys. You know, that helps the show move along. I really do appreciate all the interaction, you know. So yeah, let's get it in.
Yeah, we're gonna get it in. We're gonna do it a little differently because since you know, my brain don't want to act right. Looks like witchcraft to me. Don't do that. Don't make me laugh right now. Since my brain don't want to act right now, I forgot like 3 times in a row. We're gonna do our scientists first because literally I have not deleted them. They've been sitting. You feel me on the queue? What you call it? The tabs. I've been having to open tabs since 3 shows ago. I will not delete it. So we're gonna do those first, but we also want to say, please do support the show in the real way. Like, make sure you like the show, if not anything else. And if you feel that it's appropriate to, you know, cash app us $1, that's fine, because trust me, that dollar goes a long way. Anthony have both, you know, put our cash apps together. Shout out to you, Gary Hart. Let me think, it was Tay Brooks, Sister Safa for sure. And there's others. Don't be offended if I don't
Mm-hmm.
remember everybody. I told you I don't remember Jack, okay? But there's others who have contributed monetarily to us, so we can either upgrade our equipment or at
Mm-hmm.
least, have I guess you could say get better apps so we can make this interactive discussion more visually stimulating and just look more professional. I'm working on it.
Yeah, most
Um,
definitely.
so
And
I
it's
this my Mac Pro laptop is my biggest acquisition, and plus I make sure that I have paid subscriptions to certain sites that help me produce and develop this content. And the more I learn and the better I get, the better it's going to get better. And as y'all can tell,
mm-hmm.
it's a lot better than the first time, but I still have a lot to learn.
Most definitely. And those, Miss Juju, you're absolutely right on the contributions because thanks to your contributions, to all of you people, I've been able to do some upgrading. So got me a new filter,
Yeah,
which,
boy.
should help with the astrophotography and the astronomy club catalog, which is
Mhm.
this is called the Optilong L Quad Enhanced filter. It's one that all the professionals use.
You got to send me
This
that.
was
I can put it in the description. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
oh yeah, okay, yeah, I'll send
Mhm.
it to you.
Mhm.
But thanks to you, this was 150 just for this. I was able to get this as well. It's called the Hyperstar, which it basically speeds up your telescope, so you don't have to take 5-minute exposures. What I could get in 5 minutes, what would take me 5 minutes to get, now I can get in like 30 seconds. You know what I'm saying? So this was 500, and I was able to get me another guide camera. You know what I'm saying? Which was another 200. So thank you. Thank
Thank
you all for your
you.
contributions.
Thank
This
you.
is what I do with them. Upgrade, my telescopes and stuff. And like Miss Juju was saying, all the information that we get, we have to pay for that stuff. So
We do.
thank you all. Thank you very much.
Gratitude in abundance. So we do want to say that because boy, Lord knows we ain't trying to be no scam guys over here. We ain't doing that.
Mm-mm.
You feel me?
No,
They ain't finna talk about us. I tell you that. So no.
I promise you, I don't take the Cash App money and go buy weed and all that. I
Nah.
just showed you what I did with it. You
Neither
know what I'm
one of us
saying?
smoke weed anymore. I might have used to about 2 years ago, but that ain't been happening since the show. So no, we're not spending our money wastefully. We're not spending your contributions wastefully.
No.
Just know that. But I will say, I got to get more information, but I do have an idea for the summertime. I want y'all to, go ahead and get ready for that. Dr. Maya does have a STEM program, and it costs money. So I actually want to start building somewhat of a scholarship fund for that STEM program so we can at least sponsor one child. Maybe we'll make it more later on, but to get people into that because we want to do a service to our community, but I know I think I can speak for most PseudoKillas that our main goal is for the advocacy of the community, but our children.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we definitely want to support in a real way, and we want to support others who are doing a phenomenal job by creating programs that are STEM or perhaps STEAM. And as Dr. Mayat has done, she adds an extra A to stand for arts and agriculture within that acronym, which I think is actually pretty accurate. But we want to support her in a real way, and then allow a student to participate in that summer program, which is actually coming up soon. So I'm going to be working on that really soon to see how it goes. I know that I'll be perhaps donating $300 already, and that's for the grateful contribution of Brass. He's not here, but if you see him, let him know. He did me. He took care of me and did me a favor, so I'm going to return that favor by supporting a student. Since he told me don't pay him back, but now I'm going to reciprocate that. So I will be donating $300, and yeah, I would definitely show y'all the receipt when I do that. And I'm also going to be donating $100 to Monica Lamb. Monica Lamb always does a scholarship, and I believe it's for athletes, and not necessarily just in the community. I know that I don't want to speak of those individual names, but certain people within the HOK community have definitely received her scholarships for her children. And Monica is one of the hardest working people in these YouTube streets that I've seen as far as community advocacy. So I'll be doing that for sure. And yeah, I mean, I've always been big on donating to causes like that, definitely, especially when I have it. So that's what I'll be doing, and I hope some of you will follow behind me. But enough of babbling. We're going to get into our scientists, and I hope I don't babble this either. All right. I'm probably not going to read all of this for you. And I don't think that I put this in the description. I don't know why I didn't do that. But I will put it in the chat for you all. Hold on just a minute. Just a moment. Right. That's the wrong one. Just a moment. No dead air. So I'll just sing for y'all. No dead air. No dead air. Da 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 da. No dead air. Da 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 da. There she go. Hey girl, hey. Look at that side eye. Look at that side eye. Should we give it up? Yeah. I love that picture in the background. But let's get right to it. So this is Chanda Prescott Weinstein. She's a dark matter expert and advocate for women of color in STEM. I really would like to get her, Anthony, on the show if we could. That would be dope. But Dr. Chandra Prescott Weinstein could not have a first name more perfect for who she is and and what she does. Chandra, a Sanskrit word for yoga, the authoritative text on yoga, means moon, and the idea that if one concentrates on the moon, one obtains knowledge of the stars. So yes, that is a fitting name. Fittingly, Dr. Prescott Weinstein is an associate professor of physics and astronomy, as well as a core faculty member in women's and gender studies at the University of New Hampshire. Her name aptly reflects her research in cosmology and particle physics. More specifically, her research in theoretical physics focuses on cosmology, neutron stars, and dark matter. Ooh. She is also a researcher in Black feminist science, technology, and social studies. Among her recent roles, Dr. Prescott Weinstein was a co-convener of dark matter cosmic probes in the SNOMAS 2021 particle physics community planning process and in national academic elementary particles progress and promise. Wait a minute, did I miss a sentence? National academic elementary particles progress and promise. What is that? DECDAL committee member. She created the site Black Women Plus in Physics and Astronomy bibliography. In addition, this talented scientist has gotten attention for her advocacy work. Nature, that's the Journal of Nature, y'all, recognized Dr. Prescott Weinstein as one of 10 people who shaped science in 2020. That's big. And Essence Magazine has recognized her as one of 15 Black women who are paving the ways in STEM and breaking barriers. A co-creator of the Particles for Justice letter against sexism and particle physics, and of the 2020 strike for Black lives. She received the 2017 LGBT and Physicist Acknowledgement of Excellence Award for her contributions to improving conditions for marginalized people in physics, as well as the 2021 American Physical Society Award for her contributions to particle cosmology. I'm almost done, y'all, I promise. So Dr. Prescott Weinstein is also a columnist for New Scientist and Physics World. Her first book, The Disordered Cosmos, A Journey into Dark Matter, Space-Time, and Dreams Deferred, won the 2021 Los Angeles Times Book Prize. In Science and Technology category, the 2022 Phi Beta Kappa Science Award and 2022 Penn Oakland Josephine Miles Award, it was named a Best Book of 2021 by Publishers Weekly, Smithsonian Magazine, and Kirkus Reviews. That's good. That's a lot. And this is again in 2022. Prescott Weinstein was the inaugural top prize winner in the mid-career research category of the National Academics Eric and Wendy Schmidt Award for Excellence in Science Communication. This writer, scientist, and advocate is originally from East Los Angeles, but now divides her time between Cambridge, Massachusetts, where she has a research affiliation with the Science and Technology Studies program at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT, y'all, and the New Hampshire Seacoast. And that is about all. So, yeah, Chanda Prescott Weinstein, she's definitely paving the way to in science and dealing with dark matter. That's oh my goodness, I don't know how to explain that. That's phenomenal because she's dealing with a subject matter that's not well known. But if she's got that many accolades, that means that she is really, really doing her thing. So we want to dedicate the show to Chanda Prescott Weinstein, and just again, it's all about showcasing our African and African American, or Africans in the diaspora scientists, so we can combat this notion of white men's science. Just say no to white men's science. Yeah. Hold on, and I got you up, Anthony. Yeah, we're doing a little backwards. Give me just a minute. No dead air, no dead air, no dead air, no dead air. All right, here I go. I promise y'all I'm not crazy. I don't take any medication for it. And I'm not dangerous, so no worries. Do you still have his information?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, because
you need me to send it to. Oh, okay, you got it.
Oh no, I got his picture up. I want people to see the picture.
Yeah.
What up, Fine? Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, peace to you, Fine. Appreciate you.
Yeah, boy. Let me see if I can get bigger a little more.
All right, family. I would like to introduce you all to Ronald E. McNair. As you can see, a NASA astronaut. Well, I'll just read you a little bit about him. Okay, physicist Ronald Irwin McNair was America's second Black astronaut and one of 7 crew members killed in the Space Shuttle Challenger explosion back in January 1986. I remember that. I was in elementary school. We actually was looking at it on TV. I never forget that. But that's not what he's famous for. He was a great scientist, of course. He was born October 12th, 1950 in Lake City, South Carolina. And in 1971, he received a bachelor's degree in physics from North Carolina A&T State University, graduating magna cum laude. At 26, he received his doctorate in physics from Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Dr. McNair became a recognized expert in laser physics while on the staff of Hughes Research Laboratory. And he was actually, it says he developed an expertise in laser physics while working at the Hughes Research Laboratory in Malibu, California. And in 1978, he was selected by NASA for the astronaut corps. So he actually made one flight into space. On his second one was when they had that tragic accident. But it was his work in physics and in lasers, that propelled him to, into space. So, Black college graduate, Like I'm saying, it's like we say all the time. It's feel like it.
HBCU? Yeah, HBCU graduate.
Yeah.
Oh wow,
North
I didn't
Carolina,
know that.
North Carolina State A&T. Yeah. So
That's
you know,
definitely
it's like you said, that myth. You know, it's crazy. I mean, there are people of all races that have made major contributions that we all take advantage of today as a species. You know what I'm saying? Stop letting, you know, the pseudo tell you that this is the such and such man's and all that. No, science is a human endeavor. You know what I'm saying? It's a human endeavor, and we all benefit from science on a daily basis. So, you know, that's just what it is. You know, you can't deny that. So, you know, big up to all the scientists who've
facts.
come before us and those that are coming after us. All the scientists. You know, it's not just your race is only that race game is only to make you feel good about yourself. And
Mm-hmm.
if that's what it takes to make you feel good about that yourself, what does that say about you? You know what I'm saying? So no, we don't play that game over here.
Yeah. I don't even like
Science
the
is a
race.
human endeavor, you
Yeah,
know.
I don't even like the race thing because you can't qualify that scientifically. You know, if you want to have that in social conversations, go ahead, but that is problematic, right?
It's
If you can't
crazy.
qualify it scientifically, then leave it alone, you know. But I only do it for the fact that people have this idea that blacks aren't in a lot of spaces, which they are. So, you know, we
And
have
have made major contributions, you know.
major. Yeah, so I mean, there'll come a time when we start showcasing any scientists, perhaps the scientists that are relevant to the shows we're doing. That'll be coming up next, but I'm gonna do this for a little while just to nail it home and to at least say,
Hmm.
man, I got 50 shows where I've I've displayed scientists who look like you and me. So what are you talking about? I mean, I at least give you a 50 plus because we do two every show. So that means you know, we don't already gave you 100 of them, and there's thousands of them, you
Well, it's
know.
more than that, Miss Juju, because you know,
Exactly.
for 2 months, you were doing two people a week. You know what I'm saying? And then I was
Yeah,
doing
they
just my
made me
little one.
mad, boy. I was like,
You
what
know,
are y'all talking about?
I was doing my little one, and you was throwing in two every week. So big
So
up.
yeah, so I mean, maybe after the summer, you know, it just won't be that. But I'm trying to send a message. Okay, just say no to white men. Science, there is no them they. Okay, when it comes to science, they science them. Who are you talking about? You feel me? It was a
Nuts.
black woman that basically saved the whole of the world. Her name is Dr. Kizmikia Corbin. Y'all should never forget that.
Hmm.
Yeah,
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 it's
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, boy. So I'm just saying. But
Mhm.
enough of that, you know, diatribe. I'm not gonna take you there. I want to say shout out, Chris. What's up? Yeah, boy.
Yeah, peace
Thank
to
you
you,
for
Chris.
joining. So yeah, that we dedicate this show to Robert McNair and Chanda Prescott Weinstein. Yeah,
Hmm.
that was awesome because I don't want to forget y'all looking crazy. So where do you
Yeah,
want to start? I think I want to start with how science can identify what is it? Science
yeah,
can identify galaxies or identify
yeah,
the evidence of galactic evolution. What up, Zane? Um, yeah, I think
yeah.
I want to
Peace,
start
Zane.
because I think that was interesting because they actually have a source, an element that they look for
Hmm.
into what up, Mac Rob? Pseudo official, an element that they know that they can look for now in order to basically find evidence of galactal or cosmological cosmoevolution.
Yeah,
So
that was pretty interesting. Peace to you, Mac Rob. Yeah, that was
no,
pretty
Chris.
interesting how that, and it to me, though, Miss Juju, it kind of makes sense why, life is based off of a certain element.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
I thought
saying?
the same thing when I
Yeah,
was reading that article. I was like, oh, wow.
yeah,
So that is for everything, huh?
yeah. It got kind of interesting and made some other things, cleared up some other things.
It
You know what
did.
I'm saying?
All right, I'm gonna get
So,
my 2 cents and I'm gonna let you get in. Y'all know how I do it. I'm not as prepared as I want to for this show. Shoot, I might do a part 2. But Chris, no, I can't give you that because over here, though, that one word, especially the word it stands for, is banned. We don't want to have none to do with that conversation over here. We don't want it. It's enough of it, in these spaces. Yeah, so basically how it goes, it's like how do you measure or get like empirical data to explain how galaxies evolve? Very daunting, literally difficult, almost impossible.
yeah.
For one, and for a number of things, like what I'm learning is that a lot of things in astrophysics are merely impossible. It's just the sheer ingenuity of humans and us to actually manage to create tools to measure
Mm-hmm.
and study phenomena, and then finding out that there's other phenomena that we never even thought existed or
Mm-hmm.
occurred, like black matter. Um, it's just it boggles my mind every time. And I don't say that to try to be dramatic. I literally be like, holy crap, like I'd be in awe of the stuff that I'm reading because it's just it's almost unfathomable how um so one of that's one of the dilemmas though in getting this data for
Mm-hmm.
galactic evolution, and that's because one, there's Chris said, oh dang, no, you good, fam. One, there's just so many galaxies.
Yeah.
And if I have it real quick, I'll you know how I'll do it. I'll go ahead and show you a picture because I love
Do you
um
still have that Hubble Ultra Deep Field? Because that was
yeah.
the one, that was the photo that kind of started to put everything together.
Right, because it has remnants and fragments of
Yeah.
galaxies and different things like that. But let me see. I do have a little show. I will show it. So in the small part, it tells you that it has like 10,000 galaxies in this
Yeah.
one and this one small part. Remember, the picture looks big, but the small part was us taking a dime and holding it up into the
Mm-hmm.
air, and the area that that dime covers is this picture. Okay, so
All them
that's
galaxies.
all them galaxies. Let me see if I can get that a little better. I'm gonna do it
Now
like
just imagine how many planets are in there. Because you got
right,
all those galaxies that
and
contain all those stars.
it's not even counting the planets.
And if
Um,
they anything like our solar system, you got 8 planets around this one star. So
exactly, and there's 10,000 plus galaxies in this picture. I can't tell you how many stars. We know in our galaxy there's what, a million, a couple million, I
no,
believe.
it's in the trillions.
Is
It's
it in the
up
trillions in our
to
galaxy? Oh my God.
some
Yo,
estimates
see?
are 750 million to a trillion. So it
Okay.
just depends. Because
Jeez.
it's a lot of stuff we can't see on the other side of the galaxy because of the center of the galaxy.
Right,
All
right, right,
that
right, right,
dust,
right.
and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Shoot. So we don't even that don't even account for the whole of the
it's
galaxy.
it's a very rough estimate.
Okay, that's a rough estimate for the whole of the galaxy. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So we'll say 1 million in a galaxy, and it's 10,000 galaxies here. Yeah, y'all can do that math. I'm not gonna do it. Of course, I provided all the sources for you. Space.com
Hmm.
had a great article. I'm gonna, and so it speaks on this dilemma. So
That's
real,
one of my go-tos there,
of course,
space.com.
and if it's your go-to, it's my go-to because shoot, who else I'm gonna follow? Um, I'm gonna follow you, and I'm gonna follow the science. You feel me?
Oh yeah.
And this is, of course, an illustration, but this is an illustration of two-barreled spiral galaxies known as NGC 7733 and NGC 7734. They're in the process of merging, y'all. So the lower galaxy basically has a dust knot atop its upper arm. I'm gonna say it's right there. Can you see my little pointer? It's that little red space in the blue, I believe.
No, I can't see your cursor.
Okay, so can you see it now? No, you still can't see my cursor. Okay, so tell me the dust knot. It's this little like red little knot, right, in the blue ring of the lower galaxy. Is that correct? I just want to make sure I'm looking at the right thing.
I see what you're talking about. Yeah.
All right. So which makes a third galactical companion. So that basically means that there's actually 3 galaxies in this picture. And I guess I should have went there first, but so the interstellar clouds of distance, ancient galaxies are often filled with carbon. This means if astronomers can trace and detect these patches of carbon, which they call neutral carbon absorbers, they can learn quite a lot about how galaxies evolve. Interesting. So carbon is a very important element in life on Earth. Well, it seems is also an important element for the formations of galaxies, which had to come before life on Earth, and also galaxies and have parts that have, what do you say, stellar nurseries or whatnot, creation of stars. But also you'll get into it more. But let's talk about it. Carbon wasn't around for quite some time after the Big Bang, you know.
Yeah.
So this also gives you somewhat of a clock to when carbon began to be present within the universe, and when these anisotropies started to create galaxies.
Hey, you going back into
smart.
something we already talked about there.
I'm trying to get smart. Oh, y'all.
There you go. You tying it all together. See, that's what it's all about.
Yeah. And y'all remember what anisotropies were? So isotropy was the everything is pretty much the same. You know
it looks the same everywhere you look.
Yeah, whatever direction you look. That's isotropy, right? So if it's the same everywhere you look, they say in the early galaxy, and there's a paper. Of course, I gave you all the things I'm reading from. They talk about anisotropies, and you know when that came about and what that implicated. I ain't gonna lie, that's just I got it from. I actually got to read that paper twice because it's a lot on that paper. But that's the gist of when we talk about the anisotropy thing, okay? Because the anisotropy is what gives you your galaxies and everything else and all your other celestial bodies or galactic objects, okay? In a sense, but carbon is important, and that's very interesting because they know that these are in some of the earlier galaxies. Go ahead if you want to add on to that.
Yeah, it's when you getting into galactic evolution, that's one of the main pieces of evidence for the Big Bang, and that states that galaxies evolve over time. So you have different types of galaxies. You have small irregular galaxies, you have spiral galaxies, you have elliptical galaxies. Those are the main types. And then you have subcategories in each one. But in studying time or looking back into the early part of the universe, as you get to certain levels, you see certain type, galaxies in their certain forms.
Right.
So like where we are today in the present and back to so many millions of light years, you see full-fledged galaxies. You see you know, what we see today, like you see on this picture, you see galaxies merging and colliding, and you see all of that. Well, you get to a certain point, you go back a little bit further, you may not see as many spiral galaxies. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like this picture here. So you're seeing galaxies on here at different times
I'm sorry, y'all.
in, you know what I'm saying? You're looking at galaxies in different times
There we go.
of the universe. So, each layer let me see if I can pull that up. I know I got it. But like each layer you look at, it gets, older and older, or the further back in time you go.
Facts. I have this one actually has it.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. So I'll go through it real quick if you want me to. So the first picture on the far left hand corner, and by the way, shout out to Scarab Chronicles and Odio. Thank you for coming and supporting us. But the first picture in the left upper hand corner they say it's an elliptical, okay, and then the one underneath it is a spiral. So the pictures going to left to right, on the spiral is the second and third row. The elliptical only has this top row. So the elliptical, the first picture is 14 billion years. Okay. And then the second picture on the elliptical, top row, is 9 billion years. The third is 5 billion, and the second is 2. So it literally gets a little bit smaller and smaller, but it seems like it gets a little bit more defined as you go, as it gets.
So
oh no, I did that wrong. It goes backwards. So
yeah,
this is actually what they call it, a non-uniform galaxy in the elliptical. Actually, it's going from the oldest to the youngest age.
Yeah, so when you're looking at that, going from the left column back to the right, time is going backwards.
Backwards, right.
You know what I'm saying? So when you go all the way over to the right, you see that row or that column there shows you galaxies at 2 billion years after the Big Bang.
Thank you. Fix it.
So that's all the way over in that column, all the way over to the right. That's what it's showing you. That's when we look out in the telescopes and that Hubble Ultra Deep Field, you see all of these different types of galaxies, but you see them in like layers. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, all the way to the right is 2 billion years after the Big Bang. So these are the first galaxies that they're actually seeing. And then as you move one column over, that's 5 billion years. One column to your left. Yeah. That's 5 billion years. That whole column shows you when you look out, this is what you see at 5 billion years after the Big Bang. And like I say, the next column to the left would be 9 billion years. And so forth and so on to where we are today at 14 billion years. And this is what we see. We close by the nearest galaxies to us, we see ellipticals and we see spirals. But like I say, there's different subcategories for each one, but that is what we see. I have several pictures of those types of galaxies, in galaxy clusters and stuff. But what I don't have is what you see at 9 billion years, 5 billion years, and 2 billion years. That's going to take a bigger budget. You know what I'm saying?
You need a bigger telescope.
That's NASA territory right there. Yeah. But you yourself, you can get a telescope and you can go out and see these in this far left column, the elliptical and the spirals. You can see them all day long. Well, whenever.
Right. I just want to say, make sure y'all hit that link if you want to come up and engage in the conversation and be a part of the show. We have no problem with that. And I'll go back to why it's hard for them to, I guess, detect this carbon and see about these galaxies. And I'll go through
Yeah.
the technology that they're using. That
I'm
was
sorry,
pretty
I forgot about that part.
no,
That
no, no.
carbon.
That's
Yeah.
fine. That is fine. You
And
fixed it.
they are finding that carbon at 2 billion years after
Yes,
the Big
they,
Bang. But
yeah,
as you alluded to before, yes, we know how that carbon came about because it took those first set of stars to produce that. Only hydrogen and helium and a little bit of lithium came out of the Big Bang.
right. Just a
You
little
know,
bit of
so
lithium.
that's
Yeah,
what makes that carbon so unique and
right.
such a good tool to measure or make a standard of what's going on in the early universe. And to Chris, yeah, we did a series on black holes when we first, well, it wasn't first starting out, maybe about the first of the year.
It's about
But
the
we'll
second,
have a black hole specialist on next week.
right. If I can find that show for you, I'll go ahead and drop it in the chat. One of the black hole shows, and I believe we did one or two shows, and if there are some other ones, I think you'll be able to find it fairly easily. So give me a minute, and I'll grab that for you. So yeah, the give me a minute, Chris. I'm gonna put that in a minute. But yeah, so what they actually use now, let me see if I can find where I was at. Sorry. So they thought because it may be difficult detecting uh neutral is what they call it, carbon
Mm-hmm.
absorbers. It's a process that typically involves finding the distinctive fingerprint of carbon's absorption line in the spectrum of light emitted by galaxy, which is very tedious. And remember that science in dealing with the spectrum of light and studying that is spectroscopy. So
Mm-hmm.
there was a little bit of spectroscopy going on in here. And did you know I just learned that they don't just use spectroscopy in astrophysics. They also use it to study rocks. I just learned that from Identity Withheld. He usually is on another
No, I didn't
platform,
know that.
but we were having a conversation, and then I had to, chat GPT, and then sure enough, they use it for rocks. That's very interesting. But maybe we'll get into that more some other time. But yeah, so it's very tedious to do that. It's also very difficult across millions of galaxies. Astronomers only know of a few dozen that contain these absorbers. So they got smart. See, everybody is so crazy about AI, but AI is absolutely a technology, and it's a technology of our times, meaning it was built on technology before. Okay. So people shouldn't be scared of it, but they're using AI. And so here it is. They're training AI to look for these things because, of
Mm-hmm.
course, AI can do it probably quicker, right? And more efficient and proficient. And that's what you want when you're dealing with science. So they are putting in these data sets that they know that may be what is it, an attribute to this
Mm-hmm.
neutral carbon absorber, even though they probably have not detected yet. They know that it's a great possibility that these characteristics or attributes of a neutral carbon what is absorber. So they added
Yeah.
it to the AI. And before we told you I only had a few dozen. Now they literally have like hundreds of them because of the AI technology and things they didn't even know that could be possible. So
Mm-hmm.
that's the important of why you should not be scared of new technology. New technology is not there for one particular thing. New technology can be a benefit for many different things. I think we talked about it before how some of the technology that was initially designed for space exploration actually contributed to some of the new technology we have in the medical field.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you just have to be open and you just have to really understand what it is that's really going on instead of getting hyped up by, I guess, willfully ignorant people that don't really know, fear mongers. You feel me? And we see a lot of that. So be careful. But yeah, so that's what they're doing now, and they're working on to deal with the galacto evolution or
Hey,
whatnot.
and Miss Juju,
Yeah, go ahead.
and like you were saying, it's the techniques are are new techniques. They're new, but they're using old data. This is the
Mhm.
data that they used in that paper, that study you were speaking on,
Yeah, yeah,
is
yeah.
20, 30 years old. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
they're going back on old data with new techniques, refining,
right.
you know what I'm saying,
I
and
get
making new
that.
discoveries from old data. Now, I
Mhm.
don't know, but I know I've mentioned a few times on this show about how, that's one of the possibilities where you can lead your children into is data analysis,
Right,
because there is so much data to be analyzed. They just don't have enough people to do it. But you see what
right,
happens when they get back into the old data. They're making new discoveries, stuff that's been in here. They've had this information stored for decades. You know what I'm saying? And that's just, how far behind they are with collecting data and being able to get that data analyzed. So, like we always do, we always giving you information where you can take to a family member or somebody
mhm.
that can make a career out of it. You know what I'm saying? So you don't have to give all your time and money to a pseudo. You don't have to do that to a quack. You know,
Oh, boy.
you don't have to listen to Terrence Howard. You don't have to.
Oh, man.
Why would you want to? He's an actor. You
Uh,
know what I'm saying?
we might have to
Maybe
do
the
that. We might have
acting
to.
thing ain't happening right now. And he look on
Maybe he
YouTube
broke
and
his
he see
hell
Billy
and
Graham.
he need a grift. I mean, what is it?
Yeah, maybe the acting thing ain't working out right now. So he see Billy Graham on his, I mean, not Billy Graham, what's his name? Billy Carson, fooling all these people, getting a million views saying foolishness, all because the people won't go back and check it out. It makes them feel good. So hey, he'll sit. So he maybe that's what, he's looking at a new stream of income. You know, getting over on the willfully ignorant. And, if that's his hustle, I ain't mad at him. But if you fall for it, that's your fault. You know what I'm saying? Because especially on this show, the pseudo killers always give you sources. We give you the scientists. We give you the techniques. We give you the tools that they use. Pseudo will never do that. He's just gonna tell you what he's been blessed with, this divine information that nobody else knew. You know what I'm saying? Man, come on. If you fall for that, that's your fault. That's my rant.
Yeah, so I like that rant though. We might have to do a little bit on debunking some of his claims, especially about the periodic table, which I knew how to debunk that, and I did that in real time on I forgot, was it on Professor Dave and on Facebook, because I haven't addressed it, but I'm dealing with this guy saying that theory of relativity was never approved and different things like that. And he's so wrong. I just ain't felt like it, literally felt like it, but we'll get back to that. Um, so let me just give this to you, Felicia, to your question. Um, so, and, so So specifically, researchers recently set a neural network to work on the spectroscopic data of galaxies, taken more than a decade ago. And a lot of the information that Anthony was talking about comes from the Sloan Digital Sky Survey, right? So they set up AI with these prompts, and then they let it loose on the data from Sloan Sky Survey. And that's basically how they got the result. But to explain a little bit more, Lisa, um, so what did I say? So the spectroscopic data of the galaxies taken more than a decade ago and discovered more than 100 new galaxies with neutral carbon absorbers. I just told you how they did that though. So it's not necessarily um it's not necessarily something like where does it go or what it's absorbed, or I just don't really know that information. I have to give that get back onto you with the actual question to that question. She's asking what is it called and once it's absorbed. What is it called once it's absorber, and where does it go? What do you mean once it's absorbed, Lisa? It's absorbing the neutral carbon. But where does it
It,
go? I don't know. Oh, there.
well, I mean, what's the? I don't understand the question though. What is it called
Yeah,
once
she's trying to
it's
understand
absorbed?
the neural carbon absorber. Sorry.
Well, no. What it is okay. When you have photons leave an object, and
Neutral.
there's like dust and all of that, that photon has to go through. Well, once it hits that dust, it emits, if I'm not mistaken, it emits an electron. And that electron, that light that comes from that electron, lets you know what the object was and what, absorbed it to send off that electron or that ray of light, if you can, catch any light. So that's basically what they mean by absorb. It's photons are weird. You know what I'm saying? They photons are weird. You really got to get into how photons actually, operate and how they move. And, some say they move in a wave, some say it's a particle. Well, it behaves the same way. So photons are, yeah, they kind of weird, but it's being absorbed. They're so small. You know what I'm saying? And when it hits something, like I say, they catch the reflection of whatever it's interacting with, and that's how they can tell what the element is, because certain elements give off a different wavelength or frequency. Frequency is when the waves peak at a certain, level. That average where they always peak, that's the frequency, and they can determine what the element is that way, if that makes sense. But I hope I answered your question.
I want to go back to Hubble real quick because I want y'all to look at this, and then I'm going to read something for you about the picture. Yo, it's wild. I'm telling you. So, it's actually a diagram. I'll show you that, but I want you to focus on Hubble. So it's basically one of the deepest ever taken of the universe. That's why they call it the deep field, right? It provides they describe it as it's literally providing fossil evidence for hundreds of fossil evidence for hundreds of galaxy shards. So these are shards, parts of galaxies, and they call them galactic building blocks. Many of them near the limits of the observable universe. And I think that's something like people don't get when deep field. I know that it's been distributed and gone around a lot. I think people are desensitized, but this photo is actually extremely phenomenal. So this is some 10 billion light years that this photo is taken. And I'll show you another piece to the deep field that will show you enlargements of selected portions. Some of them reveal rich billion solar mass star clusters, all lying within a relatively small volume of space. That's only 2 million light years across. That's very small. Their proximity to one another suggests that it may be seen a group of pre-galactic building blocks about to merge to form a galaxy. So that's what deep field shows you. And when we get into it, I will give you the diagram so you can see that progression. It's just it it's a lot. We might have to do a part 2, but Don't want an information overload, but I do want to show you this other piece of. Oh, didn't come up. I want to get to this if I can. Stop on there. Is that it? I think that's it. Yeah, if you can see this clearly, hold on. Let me do it better for you. All right. So this is actually, let me make it bigger if I can. It's not gonna let me get any bigger. This is if I'm not mistaken, this may be deep filled, but variations of it. All this is in the description box if you want to see it closer. I don't know if I can get it closer, if I can do that. But in the middle of each picture is like this upside down L. And the open of the L goes is facing the right, okay, when you're looking at it. And this is basically pointing to galaxies that do not have star formation. So yeah, I believe this is still part of the deep field photo, but it's more enlarged and it's in depth. So if you want to grab this photo from the description, it's basically pointing to non star forming galaxies, which is interesting. But one thing that they know, there is no such thing as like a dead galaxy. That's one thing that has not been found. Okay. So it might not be deuce and stars. I don't really know what the implications are for that um concerning planets and other things. But in for what we know, that won't mean that it's a dead galaxy because we haven't found that yet. The universe is amazing or whatnot. So, Anthony, you want to add anything to that? I thought that was a pretty interesting picture, so y'all can study it that a little bit if you want. And don't forget the Sloan Observatory or the Sloan Sky Map. I have afforded that link to you all before. I give y'all a lot of links when we first started. So if you want some of those extraordinary links, just go to the old shows and grab them. Got nasaspace.com for the children. I think I gave the Sloan Observatory Sky Map. I think I gave an app on there that is like a survey of the sky, and it has all these dots on it. And you just push the different dots, and it'll tell you galaxy, star, or planet, or other things. It's pretty awesome. So I've given all those links out when we first started the show because I was link crazy. I might revisit that or repost these links, but if you want those links, go watch the old shows and pick those links up the chat because they're pretty amazing. Okay, they're pretty amazing. Anything you want to add? Yeah, so this is where I got this from. This is showing you a diagram. Let me see. So it's showing the A, which is the bigger square to the left, is showing the present view of the galaxy formation holes. The larger systems are built up from smaller ones. So that's something they do know, that they figure, right? Through collisions and mergers, which are not quite the same thing. So galaxies can collide. That doesn't mean that they're necessarily going to merge. If there's enough space around, they probably can, just like brush against each other and go their separate ways. But if not, then usually they merge into each other. And because it doesn't seem like it's possible, if there's so much like open space, doesn't necessarily mean that it will destroy any stars. Like those stars will just kind of find their own room, like get in where you fit in type thing.
I mean, you got to remember the closest star to our star is 4 light years away. So that's a lot of space.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you're talking about hundreds of billions of stars. So a star-on-star collision is highly unlikely. And this is based off of computer simulations, but it's highly unlikely, but you're correct. A lot of times they kind of like pass right through each other. You know what I'm saying? And
That seems
sometimes
wild.
and stars are going every direction, you know, and they'll pass through each other, loop around, come back, pass again. And you know, this takes billions of years. You know, this doesn't happen overnight. You know, a lot of the information that they do have comes from computer simulations, but they input real data into these situations. You know, they're not sitting there just making stuff up. You know what I'm saying? They're entering what they observe and then trying to run it back to see how it got to that point. So they're using real data in their computer simulations.
Facts.
They're not just sitting there making stuff up.
Facts. I wasn't. Yeah, I didn't. If I misconstrued it, I wasn't that they're making it up, but they're definitely using things that they haven't seen yet, but they know it exists. So they inputted that. That's what I meant. Like they haven't observed it yet. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
But I
And
will
when we're speaking on the galactic evolution, that picture Miss Juju put up, y'all need to study that one for next week, because that's gonna lead us into redshift.
Which one? This one or the last one?
The one that we were speaking on that had the columns with the 14 billion years and the 9 billion, 5
so
and 2.
They don't get confused. Because y'all know I like pictures. Sorry.
And peace to you. What's that, Lobus?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Hi, Lotus. I don't know how you stumbled across this either, but we're glad that you're here.
Yeah, and make sure you come back every week. You know, and bring your family with you. This is a family show.
Yeah, we watch our language, and you know, because you know sometimes we can get you know what I'm saying, on some of them shows, but now we keep it cute over here, okay?
Yeah, most definitely. Peace to you, Gideon.
So yeah, thank you, Lotus, for that's Lobus. Lobus, it's Lubis. If I'm getting it wrong, you can hit the link real quick and introduce yourself and talk to us, ask us any questions. But oh, thank you. But make sure that you subscribe to the PseudoKillas and hit that notification button. So
Lobis. Okay, that's what's up. It's pronounced like it's spelled.
Lobis. Okay. Thank you. I'm sorry. I'll be messing up. But good to have you. Gideon, he said, "What's good, Aunt? Peace to the family." What up, Gideon?
Yo.
Thank you for joining us. So,
but yeah, y'all get this. Make sure you have this on hand for next Wednesday, because we're gonna be speaking. We're gonna get into redshift, and this might be a good tool for you to help you get some understanding as far as evidence for the Big Bang and how all of this ties into each other. As you know, we spoke a little bit about homogeneity and the isotropy, which you find that in the CMB.
Yeah.
You know, and we got the galactic evolution tonight, and then next week, like I say, we'll have a special guest on.
Are you not
speaking about the redshift?
You just gonna make it a surprise, Anthony? You ain't telling them what's going on. You just gonna say special guest? That's how you do it?
Well, we'll have Dr. Duncan Farrar, astronomy professor from the University of Hawaii. He and I have had several conversations. You know, we've had conversations with him as well here on the PseudoKillas. Y'all can go back in the archives and check that out.
Not only him, but also a Black astrophysicist woman, Dr. Moya McTeer. We also interviewed her here on the PseudoKillas, and that's in the archives also. So go ahead and watch those shows and hit the like button. Like, get those shows in the rotation, because that's experts. That's experts
exactly
on the subject matter.
He's actually this semester was teaching a class on redshift, so that ought to be pretty good.
Yeah.
So make sure y'all tune in next week, 8 p.m. Central Time, 9 Eastern.
Yeah. because I'll mess
Make
it
sure
up.
y'all tune in and check that out.
So 9 p.m. Eastern time, y'all. So yeah, please, any questions? Because yeah, that's all. That's all the notes I got. Even if I do a part 2, we'll get into some more stuff. But that's all about now. But if you have any questions, anything you want to add, I did see Fontaine say he want us to address some of that Terrence Howard mess. So we might have to at least address the periodic table, the stuff he was saying about that, because that he was just out the window wild with it. Yeah, I think we're gonna at least address that one. I'll see what else I can look into to address, but I ain't gonna lie. What is his name? Professor Dave. If you're not familiar with his platform, the video that he did on Terrence Howard.
Ate him up.
You laughing, Scared, but no, for real. I mean, it was very clear and concise. Very clear and concise. Ate him all the way up. And I just sad because I got people on Facebook fighting with me. Black people fighting with me, talking about, oh, if the white man said, I said, first of all, this man has never been married to a black woman, so he don't care about nothing what you talking about. No offense to anybody who's non-black out there, but I'm just, letting people see their logic. Like, you don't care, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just, it's wild to me. Like, you want to scream black power and how we hating on the man. The man ain't thinking about you or me. You feel me? So don't give me that. I don't want to hear that. He's wrong as 2 left feet.
Yep, playing with your intellectual property. That's what he doing.
Yeah.
He done came on your block, trying to take over your block with that foolishness. And your block being your intellectual block. You know what I'm saying? This is what's yours. You know what I'm talking about? And he's fading that with some foolishness. Now,
Scared is funny. She's talking about no.
But you know,
I know what that
means. It's crazy.
That's funny.
But I'm still gonna put the blame on the people that's listening to him.
Oh,
you are the problem. The ones that's listening to that mess and going along with it. You are the problem. Because we giving you the tools to fight that mess and protect your intellectual property.
Scientifically,
y'all gonna let him drag y'all down that rabbit hole and beat y'all up with experience. You know what I'm saying?
Yo.
Don't let him do that to you. Please don't.
Lobus, I don't know, because we didn't mention Terrence Howard. We didn't put in our title. Not yet anyway. So I don't know. I mean,
well, I brought him up because he was, I talk about a pseudo every week. I don't know if anybody noticed it, but every week I bring up a pseudo.
Right, but he's trying to figure out how the show got in his algorithm. I didn't think algorithms work as when we're talking on the show about certain subjects. I thought they work like how we title the shows. But maybe that's something I don't know. So I could be wrong. But yeah, we're just glad you're here though. So it was God. No, let me stop. I'm sorry. I'm just kidding. I don't know. Maybe it was. We just don't know. We got no evidence for it. But until we get evidence, you're here though. You're just here. You smelt what we was cooking. Yeah. And it just
that's what's up. Hey, but like I say, bring your people with you.
Bring your peoples. Yeah, boy, Mr. Platonic Solids. Yeah, and that's wild because that's actually theoretical shapes and geometry. Just he all over the place. We got a question. Will there be a Saturday morning shop? Look, Lisa, you ain't got to put all this pressure on us, though. Golly, it was Memorial Day, girl. Look, I ain't gonna lie, I literally forgot. I just forgot. I was working on so much, I just forgot. So I be forgetting. So you know what I'm saying? Y'all don't see me post nothing in the chat, like holla at me, like, oh, Juju, what's going on? You even do the shout, but I don't even know what we were supposed to do it on. I forgot all that. I slept in. I woke up like at 1, 2 o'clock. But he opened the flower of life. Oh my God. It was just so horrible. Yum, yum, yum. No, I got ate up. How do we deal with the flat earth? Professor Dave? No.
Professor Dave or Beats?
Yeah, Professor Dave would be Professor Dave. He debates flat earthers. Okay.
Yeah.
Just to let you know a little bit. So
We did some shows on that too. Matter of fact,
we
I got a
did.
demonstration that I did with a globe.
Right.
About this time last year, we was
With
getting
the
ready for that
glass
Sanchez
too.
thing, wasn't it?
Huh?
It
Oh,
was
that was
about this time last year when we was getting ready for that Sanchez debate. Wasn't it about this time last
yeah.
year?
No, that's not all. I mean, we deal with it scientifically, though. We deal with certain scientific principles like global positioning systems, or even how engineers they engineer rockets, because that engineering is based on a global system. You know, so we deal with things that there is. I mean, I may not be the smartest pseudo-killer, and there's others like me and Anthony. Anthony is one of the smaller ones. So they deal with the science. Oh, that's how you guys know such as he hates me. He hates us too.
Yeah, he
Bobby
hate us too,
Banger,
man.
Bobby Banger debated him on Flat Earth and killed it. He killed it with
Man,
primary sources. It was sad. It was so
we had
disgusting.
we had that dude in panic mode for a month. He was cussing out the good sisters from Hidden Colors and everything. You remember that?
Yeah, but the thing about that debate, I'm gonna let you go back to that, is that Bobby Banger like pretty much shut the door on the first round because he was supposed to be going in one direction. He ended up getting all discombobulated and trying to prove that gravity ain't real, and it was just
Yeah.
ass. It's like, dude, really? It's one of the four whatever fundamental properties of the universe,
The
of
fundamental forces. Yeah.
fundamental forces,
And
excuse me. So yeah. It was
it was a
horrific.
bloodbath,
It
most
was.
definitely.
But scientific literate people are always outnumbered by pseudos, it seems like these days. So of course the numbers the numbers almost said Bobby Banger when I think still.
But when you
Yeah,
go through that
Gary.
information,
You missed it, Gary. And it should be, it's on that other dude channel. I'm never gonna mention his name. Oh man, somebody tell Gary where they can find that debate at, please. Cause I ain't finna do it. I ain't finna mention it up here. Anybody know? Hold on, Gary. I got you. Hold on. Hold on, Gary. Let me go ahead and tell you. If I can find it real quick, I'll find it for you. He said Egypt met the flat earth. But Egypt was also one of the first places that was able to actually conclude that Earth was round. Well, for me, yes, it was. Well, it was in Egypt.
yeah. And it was actually using the obelisk, if I think, or was it a whale? It could have been a
I thought it
whale.
was what is it? Not a globe, a probe, or what they call it. The the hold on. Let me ask ChatGPT, but it's the globe. I can't think of the name. What is the object they used in ancient time to measure the circumference of the Earth? Hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all. No, they ain't giving it to me.
I don't know what the actual object was, but I know I've heard of some using a whale, some using an obelisk.
Is it an obelisk?
But that's that big monument, the big tall monument.
No, it's not. It's small.
But while you find that, that's information that's been known for millennia. The ancient people understood about the they didn't know the size. They had an idea. I think it may have been the Greeks, one of the Greeks that came up with
Astrolabe. Thank you, ChatGPT. An astrolabe.
Yeah, we it's a lot they know and understand, you know.
It measures the circumference of the earth. Sorry.
So they knew it was round. So that
Right.
flat earth stuff, you know, that's just some more rhetoric to try to mess around with your intellectual property. You know, that's all it is.
He told me he found some new best friends. Yay! That's
yeah.
cute.
Glad to have you. Welcome to the family.
What the thank you words. Shoot, I don't even know what that is. Hold on. Let me Google that. I'm sorry. I want to learn new things. A PLOOMB. Tool used medieval Muslims. You were close, sis. Because that's definitely what I typed in for measuring the circumference of the earth. That was at the plumb line or the plumb bob. A plumb line. Is that what you're calling a plumb line? A plumb weight?
Mm-hmm.
Plumb bob attached to end string. Yeah. That way too. And it tells you how it's used. Yeah. Thank you, Words Alive. Y'all go
Most definitely.
Yeah, make sure y'all go what I'm saying, subscribe to Words Live. I see she does a little bit of poetry and things over there. So yeah, go subscribe to her channel. Okay? Those over here. So Melissa Tom, man, none of those over here. No, they're not over here, but you know, that's probably how we got into your algorithm. So you two just hold on. So you two just fans of science, do you have some expertise in the field? No, we are not experts. I'm learning. He's my tutor teacher. But he's definitely go ahead, tell him.
I'm just an enthusiast, man. And you know, I own 4 telescopes. I'm an amateur astrophotographer. You know, I'm putting together an astronomy catalog for the PseudoKillas astronomy club, which is called the SpaceAgeAfrican Astronomy Club. Mm-hmm. So pretty much what I understand about, you know, this subject is pretty much comes from me. I've never taken any courses, official courses anyway. I don't have no kind of degrees. Now, when I was in college.
Oh, man. Wait a minute. The Matrix gotcha. Wait a minute. He stopped that when he was in college, y'all. Oh, man. Oh, man. Hey, wait a minute. So it started at when you said when you was in college. So start from there.
Yeah, I took computer information systems in school, and that was way back in the early 90s. So none of this, what we're speaking on now, no, I don't have any formal training in it other than just, you know, me having an interest in the night sky. As you know, for my whole life, I've always been interested in the night sky, and just that interest alone is what propelled me into, you know, digging into it and getting more familiar with it. And
right,
the more I learn, the more I want to learn. And I'm one of those. No, I don't believe everything I see from NASA. So I got me a telescope with some cameras, and I go out and take pictures of it for myself. So I see these objects, some of the objects. I can't do what Hubble do. I can't do what James Webb do, but I can, you know, take pictures of galaxies and stuff. So like I say, we're putting together a catalog. So it's real for me, but no, I'm not I don't have any formal training or education in the subject matter. So That's why I encourage you to send you and your kids go to school, man. Because I wish I would have went to school for this instead of computer information systems, and I'd probably still be, you know, in the field or something. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't, so here I am now.
That's why we vet the materials that we use for the show, and we provide sources, and we bring experts to the platform. We've already brought 2 astrophysicists to the platform, and we're about to bring back one of them we've interviewed before, but in a non-formal setting. This setting, this is non-formal. You know, we have PseudoKillas intelligent conversations. But you know, he's actually going to just be a part of our galaxy and beyond, and I think that's pretty awesome. Off the subject though, yeah, so it's all about sharing is caring. So Scarab Chronicles also has a YouTube channel. So again, y'all make sure y'all go subscribe to Scarab's Chronicles YouTube channel. You know, words alive. Yeah. And she deals with things about her culture. So I think it's awesome. I'm subscribed to both of you ladies. Hey. Yeah, my channel is just clickbait. I go just don't. I ain't got nothing special on my channel. You know, just need to subscribe to me. If you subscribe to PseudoKillas, that's good. Okay, okay. Oh boy,
that's always good, Miss Juju.
Yo, that's what's up. Yeah, boy. Because Scarab Chronicles, she's definitely a supporter. She's been around for a while. It's just that people didn't really know who she was, but I knew, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, she's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'll make sure y'all check them out.
Yeah, definitely.
We definitely appreciate the support.
You know, yeah, and so I mean, Words Alive just told you what she is, because I already had some people go to your channel and like, she's soda, and I'm like, man, leave her alone. You know what I'm saying? You don't even know what it is, but she just told y'all it's fantasy and sci-fi. So that's pretty nice. It ain't always got to be something we doing. Go ahead. Talk to
Lobis. It's called the SpaceAgeAfrican Astronomy Club, and that basically covers all of humanity. So we open to all of humanity, dude. You know, if you.
Oh yeah. I got to do my disclaimer, right? So, you know, because we are affiliated with the spaces that are like Pan-African, Black Power, RBG, Race First. So PseudoKillas is not that. You may have members of PseudoKillas like moi that would pretty much devil in all of that, but the group as a whole, our platform is not that. Our platform is very inclusive, okay? So we don't want people to think that all the white men is the devil, because we're not doing that over here at all. No. Okay. Science doesn't allow that for us, because science will tell you that, I mean, people always say no man's an island, but science will prove that fact. You know, people need people. And those civilizations that were able to thrive were the ones that were more open to others, you know, whether they were borrowing, taking, or whatever, but they did not isolate themselves. All right. Science will show you that, and history will show you that, you know. Yeah, I mean, I guess, you know, I ain't gonna say that. I'm gonna just leave that alone. But yeah, I guess we can get into the intricacies of that, especially doing with Europeans in Africa, and what Africans may have could have done better. But still, you know, we see a lot of things, and I don't know if we want to call them advancements, you know, but they would definitely help with being more modernized, and that's because of the, how shall I say? I'll be always losing lots of words. I'll be tired or hungry. That's from the introduction of other cultures and other ideas. And that's what is a part. You know, China didn't get to where it be because it was isolated by itself. It's because they were able to take other people's technology and what's the word? Reverse engineer them. Okay. Pretty much. So
yeah, and find a way to incorporate it into their ways and advance their civilization.
Yeah.
And,
Ladies power. Sorry. I like when the ladies be supporting each other. I'm a big advocate for that. Excuse me. Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry. What you say, Anthony? I'm rude. Anthony.
yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, what was you saying now?
No, I was just saying that you know, it's well, what I was gonna say is it's all about the science over here. You know, that's what we promote. We don't overturn the science. You know, we bring you to the scientists. You know what I'm saying? So if it's my opinion, I tell you it's my opinion. But for the most part, we're just leading you to the scientists, bringing it to you the way that we understand it, and bringing you what we use to come to that understanding.
Mm-hmm.
So you can take this information and, like I say, just protect your mind. You know, don't let these people pull you down these holes, you know, and just rip you apart because they know they got you there. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, over here we just gonna bring you what the experts say, and we'll bring you some experts so you can hear it from them. So you don't have to go back and say, well, this what they meant. No, you'll hear it directly from the expert. So you don't have to go back and try to, you know, doctor up what they said or try to figure out what they're talking about. No, that's not what we're about. We don't change the work. You know what I'm saying? We don't treat the work like it's our work. You know, that's not how we roll. We give you the information so you can determine and make your own. I mean, come to your own conclusions. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
that's how we do it over here.
that's how we do it over here. Yeah, so y'all don't have no more questions for us. We not gonna hold y'all though. Y'all ain't got no more questions. Our work is done. But unfortunately, I can't go out with any kind of music. So I'm just gonna take us off the screen and let y'all meditate on the blue screen for me. If
Yeah,
y'all if y'all microdose on psilocybins or mushrooms, it will be really fun for you.
yeah. Get your mind right, I guess, huh?
Get your mind right. So I'm gonna take us off stage. Don't you leave, Anthony. And I'm
I
gonna
got
give
you.
y'all like maybe 30 seconds. I'm gonna count it too. So y'all can meditate on the screen. Whatever favorite song comes to your head, whatever y'all play that or sing it out loud while you're meditating on the blue. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. What they call that's like one of those silent parties.
Yeah. But we was straight to the point. It was straight.
Party. Yeah. Yeah, boy. I'm fun though, Odio. I don't care what. I'm gonna be 89. Boy, just having a good old time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to lunch every Wednesdays at like 2:00 sharp and get my $5 margaritas at my favorite restaurant and be
Hey, that's what's
chilling
up.
and walk around the park somewhere and give out dollars to little kids. That's what I'm gonna be doing, chilling, loving life. Okay.
That's all right
Yeah,
though.
boy. But if anybody want to join me, you're welcome. Okay. But that's the show for tonight. So we thank you all joining us. If you have the urge, put $1 on that cash app. If not tonight, it's okay. But we'll see you back here Wednesday. And if all things work out well, we will have a special guest. He's still special to us, but I feel like he's at home at this point. You know, we finna make we finna make Dr. Farah one of our official PKs, but he's an actual expert. I don't know. I'm just talking.
Yeah.
But Dr. Duncan Farah from the University of Hawaii in astrophysics, who specializes in black holes, will be here next week. And that's why we say redshift for next week. We were going to do it this week, but we wanted to bring him in on that conversation. So make sure you have questions ready for Dr. Farah concerning redshift if you do a little reading. But until then, that's all, folks. We love you. Appreciate it.
Peace.
We out. Good night.